Hello everyone, I am Tanveer, a social studies educator with experience in teaching class 8 to 10. I have also appeared in UPSC and BPSC mains, which gives me a strong command over NCERT concept and real exam patterns. Welcome to this demo session. Today we will begin with class 10 geography, resources and development. I will explain each concept clearly using examples and visuals so that you not only understand but also remember them easily for exams. Let's begin. What is resource? Anything available in our environment that can be used to satisfy our needs is called resource. However, all materials are not considered as resource. There are certain conditions. These are technological accessibility, economically feasibility, and cultural acceptability. In technology, there should be a technology exists which can extract the resources, extract the material for a fruitful use. In economical feasibility, the extraction cost should not be very high. It should be economical so mass can use it. In cultural acceptability, we can take the example of crab as it is often acceptable food in China. It is not accepted, or you can say very less accepted in Indian culture. Am I right? Further, moving ahead, interrelationship of resource formation exists between nature as a physical environment, technology for the transformation of material into resources, and institutions. Let us understand this with a simple example of sun. Interrelationship exists as we can see in the case of sun. We have seen sun as a source of energy, but we didn't think that sun can produce electrical energy. But with the human intervention, we can develop solar panels which have the ability to transform solar energy into electrical energy. There plays the role of institutions. We have developed International Solar Alliance. It gives the capability to produce solar energy and transform it as electrical energy. So we can say that there is an interaction between nature, technology and institutions as we have read at the above. There are some misconceptions about resources. It is said that resources as a free gift, but at present we are facing a scarcity of resources. We can say that resources are not the free gift. We can take the example of water. At present, in 21st century, we are facing a scarce water crisis. It symbols that resources are not a free gift. We have to use it with mind. In classification of resources, we can classify it in four bases: on the basis of origin, ownership, exhaustibility, and status of development. On the basis of origin, we can classify it as biotic and abiotic resources. Biotic resources are derived from biosphere. These are the living resources. For example, human being, flora, fauna, livestock, and fisheries. Here, you may ask why humans are considered as a resource. Yes, humans are the crucial, or we can say active resource, because humans has the capability to use its knowledge and skills to transform material into resources. Further, abiotic resources, these are the non-living things. We can take example of rocks, metals. On the basis of exhaustibility, it means how durable it is. Renewable resources are those resources which are replenished in the human life cycle and which are continuous. For example, solar energy, wind energy, forests, and water. You can take the example of forest. Though it is being used, it is replenishable within a short time. So it is considered a renewable resource. In non-renewable resources, we have coal, petroleum, natural gas, and minerals. Take the example of coal. It takes millions of years to regenerate coal under the earth's surface. So we can say renewable resources are replenished naturally. They are continuous. Forest and wildlife are the examples of renewable resources. In the non-renewable resources, as we have seen, it takes millions of years and cannot be replenished quickly. We have taken the example of coal and petroleum. On the basis of ownership. On the basis of ownership, classification is like individual resources, community ownership resources, national resources, and international resources. Individual resources can be taken as farmland, houses, wells. In community, we can say grazing lands, public parks. We can take the example of wells. If it is at our home, it is our individual resource. However, if it is in the village, we can say it community resources. National resources are those resources which comes under national jurisdiction. For example, forest, river, railways. In international resources, international law prevails. Here, examples are oceans, atmosphere. There are two concepts of nautical miles. When we consider 12 nautical miles, it comes under the national jurisdiction. It means we can take the example of India. From here, this is the border of Tamil Nadu, that is India, up to 12 nautical miles, we can say it is under Indian jurisdiction. However, if we go beyond 200 nautical miles, this part comes under international jurisdiction. Here international law prevails. On the basis of status of development, we can say potential resources, developed resources, stock, and reserves. Let us understand that. Potential resources are those which are present but still not in use. We can take the example of solar energy. Though we are using it, it is not fully developed. In developed resources, we can say which is surveyed and quantified. It means we are fully using it. For example, coal, petroleum. Stocks are those which is available but technology is not available. Though in NCRT, hydrogen is given as a stock, but at present the technology is developed to use hydrogen as an important fuel. So it is not a stock at present. We can take the example of geothermal energy. Though it is also used, but its use is in very limited. You can say it is as a research purpose. So we consider it as a stock. Reserves are the subset of stock. Here technology exists but not fully used. While reading the chapter, now let's do some questions to know whether we have understand the topic. Which of the following combination is essential for something to become a resource? Nature and technology, human beings and nature, nature, human beings, technology and institutions, nature and institutions. Take 3 seconds to answer. 3, 2, 1. Let us solve it. It is nature, human being, technology and institutions, as we have read in the triangle. We have understood that. Let us do another question. Based on the classification of resources, coal is a resource that comes from non-living matter, cannot be replenished quickly, is formed over millions of years, is a renewable resource. find out the correct answer. There may be more than one options. Let us solve it. Coal is a resource comes from non-living resources. Correct? Because it comes from dead plants. It comes from dead plants. Cannot be replenished quickly. Yes, right. It takes millions of years to form, more than the human cycle. That is why it is called non-renewable. Is formed over millions of years. Yes, it is correct. Is a renewable resources? No, it is not correct. As we have seen, it takes millions of years more than the human life cycle. That was all for the demo class. If you feel that I have able to make the concept very easy and understandable, you can join me. Thank you very much.